On April 8, 1943, high above occupied France, history quietly changed forever. Not with a speech, not with a declaration, but with the arrival of something so overwhelming that it rewrote the rules of war in the sky. That morning, American industry, American engineering, and American resolve appeared over Europe in the form of a single aircraft, heavy, loud, unapologetic. The Republic P-47 Thunderbolt was not elegant, and it was not subtle. It was power made metal, and from the moment it entered combat, the fate of the Luftwaffe was sealed. This is the story of how the United States didn't just fight a war in the air, it crushed an enemy's will to resist through sheer industrial dominance and unstoppable firepower. German pilots saw them first and laughed. From 27,000 feet, veterans of years of combat looked down at the climbing American fighters and mocked what they believed were flying jokes. They called them flying milk bottles, fat, slow, overgrown machines that could never survive against the refined, agile fighters of Europe. Compared to the sleek Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs, the Thunderbolt looked ridiculous, barrel-shaped, oversized, carrying a propeller larger than anything the Luftwaffe had ever flown. To the Germans, this was proof that Americans didn't understand air combat. What they failed to understand was that Americans were not trying to build a European fighter. They were building something entirely different. The P-47 Thunderbolt was not designed to win dogfights through finesse. It was designed to win wars. At its heart was a massive turbo-supercharged Pratt & Whitney double Wasp engine, producing over 2,000 horsepower, capable of maintaining full power at altitudes where German engines choked and died. Wrapped around that engine was armor thick enough to absorb punishment that would instantly destroy other fighters, and mounted in its wings were 8 synchronized 50-caliber Browning machine guns, delivering a volume of fire unlike anything the skies had ever seen. This aircraft didn't rely on precision alone, it relied on inevitability. When a Thunderbolt fired, survival became a matter of luck, not skill. Early encounters seemed to confirm German confidence. Thunderbolt struggled to turn with Focke-Wulfs, struggled to climb with Messerschmitts, and American losses mounted in the first weeks of combat. The Luftwaffe declared the new fighter a failure. British pilots quietly joked that the best evasive maneuver in a P-47 was to stand up and run around the cockpit. But beneath those early losses, something far more important was happening, something German intelligence completely missed. The Thunderbolts that were shot down did not explode in mid-air. They came home riddled with holes, engines damaged, wings torn open, damage that would have obliterated any other fighter. And when Thunderbolts did score hits, German aircraft didn't limp away. They vanished. The turning point came when American pilots learned how to fight the Thunderbolt the way it was meant to be fought. Don't turn, don't chase, don't climb low. Use altitude, weight, and raw power. From 30,000 feet, a P-47 could dive faster than any German fighter could follow, converting gravity into speed and speed into death. In these dives, the Thunderbolt became untouchable. German pilots described it as being attacked by something unstoppable, a steel mass falling from the heavens, guns already firing before they could react. When the 8 Brownings converged, aircraft didn't fall apart gradually, they disintegrated in seconds. One encounter became legendary. Lieutenant Robert S. Johnson's P-47 was nearly destroyed at high altitude, shredded by cannon fire, blinded by oil, controls barely responding. A German pilot emptied his cannons and machine guns into the crippled Thunderbolt, expecting it to finally break apart. It didn't. The P-47 absorbed everything. The German pilot pulled alongside, stared at the flying wreck in disbelief, saluted, and broke away. Johnson landed safely in England. The ground crew stopped counting bullet holes after 200.
The message was unmistakable. This aircraft could not be killed easily. By mid-1943, the laughter stopped. By 1944, fear replaced it. Thunderbolts dominated every altitude, escorting bombers deep into Germany, diving on interceptors with terrifying speed, and pouring out streams of fire that German pilots described as walls of lead. By daylight, movement became impossible. The Wehrmacht was forced to hide, paralyzed under constant attack from the air. What ultimately broke the Luftwaffe was not just tactics or bravery, but mathematics. The United States built 15,000 P-47 Thunderbolts. Germany could not replace its pilots. American factories produced aircraft faster than the enemy could destroy them. American pilots arrived better trained, better supplied, and backed by an industrial system without limits. As one German ace later admitted, they had courage, but America had everything else. By 1945, the Luftwaffe existed only on paper. Fuel shortages, destroyed airfields, and catastrophic pilot losses made resistance meaningless. Those who survived spoke of the Thunderbolt with a mixture of awe and dread, remembering the sound of its guns, the way aircraft simply ceased to exist when caught in its fire. What began as mockery ended as terror. The Republic P-47 Thunderbolt didn't enter the war as a legend. It became one. It proved that wars are not won by elegance, but endurance, firepower, and the ability to keep coming no matter the cost. The Thunderbolt didn't just defeat Germany in the air. It demonstrated the full, unstoppable force of American industry and American will. The thunder rolled across Europe, and when it faded, the sky belonged to the United States.